Y'all, it's your girl Farah. This is my first YouTube video that I'm making, and I've been thinking about making one for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to it. But I feel like now it's time, especially with being in quarantine, so here we go. And by the way, I'm gonna think of like some type of slogan to start off all my videos with, but I haven't figured all that out yet, so but basically I just wanted to kind of get into, I wrote down some notes and stuff like that for y'all, just so like if y'all see me looking down a lot, it's just because my notes are down there, but it's on a really like ugly looking notebook, so I'm not gonna show that in the camera. But I basically just wanted to kind of go over precognitive dreams, lucid dreaming, and basically like the ability to predict your future in the dreams, or in your dreams I should say. So with that being said, I know a lot of people, especially myself, have maybe wondered like why you have been able to maybe see certain things in your dreams, and then it actually happens in real life and you're like, what the hell is that? Like, how am I able to do that? So I'm gonna kind of explain what each one is, and these are just simple definitions that I got off of Google, so it's nothing like crazy that you can go look up yourself. So definitely go look up the definitions, just so you do like your own research. So basically, okay, here we go. So lucid dreaming, predicting the future, precognitive dreams. Oh yeah, and I wanted to throw a disclaimer out there that it may not be the same for everybody. Everybody's different when it comes to precognitive dreams, lucid dreaming, and things like that. Some people actually practice lucid dreaming. I don't practice lucid dreaming. I've been able to somewhat practice lucid dreaming in a sense, but I don't like practice it every time I dream or every time you know what I mean? So that's not something that I really do. Also, I don't study this, so this isn't something that I like have went to school for, or this just isn't something that I've studied. These are just my own personal experiences, and this is just for me to kind of like help people out who have maybe had similar or the same experiences and can't kind of like figure out why you're having these type of dreams. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to start off with like a few examples of like what's personally happened to me and how I've been able to somewhat predict the future through my dreams. And that's more so called precognitive dreaming, which basically means that, so I'm going to just read off the definition so that you can get a full understanding of like what exactly precognitive dreams mean. So I'm going to pick this up so I'm not like seriously staring at the floor. But okay. So the definition of precognitive dreams is also known as prescience, future vision, or future sight. It's a claimed psychic ability to see events that happen in the future. Okay, with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, so y'all are hella lucky because I really don't tell anyone about my precognitive dreams, because I feel like people just gonna think you crazy. So I'm like, it's no point to explain it to people because one, a lot of people don't understand it and don't get it, and two, it's just one of those things that like, I don't know, it's almost kind of like you had to like chime in and think about that. So it's almost kind of like conspiracy theories, it's just one of those things that like some people believe it, some people don't. It's a very controversial topic, so I just really don't tell a whole lot of people about my dreams and how they've like actually kind of like come true. But just to give y'all some examples and give y'all a little bit of better of a understanding of exactly what I'm talking about when I say precognitive dreams, it's gonna help y'all better be able to maybe relate if you've had the same type of dreams. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with one that I had when I want to say I was around like 10 years old, 9 or 10, and it was really scary, but at the time, I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh, whatever, it's just a dream. So when I was about 10, I was dreaming that my step grandfather passed away, and it was in a way more so that was very like graphic. I'm sorry, I'm really trying to think of my words right now. I can't talk. It was very graphic dream. And so when I woke up, I was hella freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, like I gotta do something in order to like protect my family. Like, what the hell? But, you know, a few years went by and he actually went missing. And he went on a camping trip, he went missing, and we ended up finding him about, I want to say 27 days later. And he drowned in the river on his camping trip and obviously passed away. So that was one dream that I had where after that happened, I was kind of like, okay, there's something going on here. And I had previous dreams before. Because I was young, I don't really remember them, but that was just the most significant one that I remember, and it was the most one of the most graphic dreams that I've ever had. And every time I go to sleep, I dream. Every single night I dream about something. I know some people can like go to sleep and like it's just black and they wake up and you know whatever, they go on about their day, but not for me. And not for a lot of people. So with that being said, that was something that I really looked at that and I was like, well, what the hell? Like, there has to be something further going on here that I'm like not understanding or that I'm not able to tap into right now. So come a few years later, I had now this is another example. I'm going to give you like 2 more examples, including this one. So another dream I had was I had an ex at the time. And I had a dream that we were at the old house that I used to live at for about 14 years. And I was now living in a different state at this time. Now, in the dream, it took place in my hometown, at the house that I lived at. So I dreamt that my ex at the time was on FaceTime with this girl with long black hair, beautiful girl, and she was Latina and she was gorgeous, and he was FaceTiming her like in the kitchen, like he was sitting, like we had a bar that was like, so like it was the kitchen and then there was the bar on the other side, with stools and stuff, and so he was sitting at the stool at the bar. Very vivid. I have very, very vivid dreams. Like I can remember details of all my dreams and things like that. It's very interesting. So he was sitting there FaceTiming this girl, and I walked up to him, like in the dream. I woke up and got out of bed and walked up behind him, and I'm like, who the hell is that? You know, I'm going off, whatever in the dream. Same thing I would do in real life. And so that morning I called him and I'm like, hey, yo, like, I'm mad at you, you know, like I was just playing, like, I'm mad at you, da da da. And he was like, why? What'd I do? And I was like, yo, I had a dream that he was cheating on me. And he just kind of like stopped for a second and he was like, oh, that's weird. And so in my head, I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, what? Like, why are you saying that? So I was hella confused. So at the time, we actually worked together. So we got to the workplace that morning and he had left his phone charging where my station was. I was a barber at the time. He left his phone charging at the station that I was at, and he left it unlocked, and he went to the restroom. And so something, just my intuition, I don't know, just something very, very strong, very, very strong. And I'm not the type to sit there and check your phone. Like, I have no reason to do that. Like, I don't do that unless you give me a reason to do something like that. So anyways, some just told me to just do it. So I'm like, you know what? I ain't never checked his phone before. Like, girl, do it. Do it. So I didn't even go to the messages. I didn't even go to the call log. I didn't even do none of that. I didn't even do all the extra. I had simply swiped over on the phone and I seen Tinder right there. And I was like, okay. So I clicked on Tinder and I went to the messages, and the first message I clicked on was a beautiful, gorgeous Latina girl with black hair. And it was literally the same chick in the picture, or in the dream. Like, the girl in the picture on Tinder was the same girl that was in my dream. Like, I'm not even BSing y'all. And so I'm like, okay, so that really kind of made me tap into, like, okay, what does this mean? Why am I having dreams like this? Like, how did my intuition catch that? Like, how is that something that I would know when with him it was something that I never felt like I had to worry about. Like, that was literally the one and only thing that within me and that person's relationship at the time that I thought that I didn't have to worry about. So, um, I never suspected any type of cheating. I never suspected him talking to other women, like, never. So, for me, it was really just kind of like, okay, whoa, like something is going on here that I'm not, like I said, tapping into. So, a little while goes by, and obviously after that relationship we broke up, whatever. um Obviously if he's my ex. But so it was just like super wild. So I'm like, okay, there's something going on here. So I'm kind of trying to figure it out, trying to tap a little more into it. At this point I didn't do any research or really look into it that hard, but I just tried to pay attention more to my dreams and kind of follow my intuition a little bit more. And then my most previous ex, actually, the same thing happened. I had another dream. He was cheating on me, didn't suspect anything, didn't think anything of it, wasn't checking his phone or looking at his stuff. And then I had a dream, and I woke up like literally at 12 in the morning that night, and there was somebody calling, FaceTiming him. And I'm like, who the hell is FaceTiming you at 1 in the morning? Like, dude, I'm your girl. Like, I'm the only one that should be calling you at 1 in the morning. Like, it's no reason for no female to be calling you that late at night. So I ended up waking him up, having a conversation with him, and ended up seeing the messages, and you know what happened after that. So after that was when I really started tapping into it, researching it, trying to figure out what these dreams meant, and came up with precognitive dreams. Now, with the precognitive dreams, they say that that it's something that is just kind of like, I don't really know the word I'm looking for, so I'm just going to say like frowned upon in a sense, like in a way that's like, oh, people can't predict the future, they can't do this, they can't do that. Well, BS, because I've been able to do it multiple times. Super weird. So the last example I'm going to give you is last night. I had another dream that my mom's best friend, her and I haven't been in contact for a while. I want to say probably like a year we haven't talked to each other. So it's been quite a while. And I had a dream about her and her babies last night. And I had a dream about her family. And I woke up this morning with a text from her updating me on how she was doing and how her babies were. And I was going to get up in the morning and I was going to text her because I was like, hey, I need to check on her, like make sure everything's okay. So it's just very, very interesting to me. And I just wanted to reach out to people who would either, one, be able to relate, or people who are just trying to kind of figure out exactly what their dreams mean or why they're having these dreams. Now, with all of those things being said, most people that can do things like that are very in tune with their intuition and are very in tune with being what's called an empath. And basically, when you're an empath, I'm just going to kind of shorten it for you. Basically, what that means is that when they say read the room, empaths can read the room. You can feel certain energies. You can just feel certain feelings. You have a very strong intuition about, if you're going to go somewhere, what the vibes are going to be, and kind of just like how your day is going to go. Like, you can really, like, you have a stronger intuition than your average person does. So that's kind of the basis of being an empath. So I am an empath, and can read the room very well. So if you ever trying to take me somewhere and I'm not trying to go, there's probably a reason for that. Because I mean, you can pick up on bad vibes, good vibes, things like that. So it's very telling. The next thing I want to get into is lucid dreaming. So a lucid dream is basically where you become aware of what you're dreaming and what you can control in your dreams. So like you can kind of control the narrative of what's going on, the people in the dream, so that your characters in the dream. and you can start controlling kind of how you dream and what you dream about. That has happened to me a few times, but I don't practice it. It's not something that I practice. So I would love for people who can lucid dream to go ahead and comment on this and let me know kind of like what your dreams look like and how you go about it. I think the way to really go about lucid dreaming and how to start doing it is really by meditating and really like tapping into your chakras and tapping into your, you know, spirituality and your mind, your soul, your body. But like I said, I don't practice lucid dreaming. That's not something that I do. But I have been able to a few times control the characters in the dreams and the narrative of the dream and where the dream ends up going. So that's definitely very interesting. And so I feel like a really great question would be like, okay, so how do you like control your feelings while you're having these not while you're having these dreams, but after you have the dream and after you wake up? I have something in my eye. Oh my bad. I think it's a hair. I feel like a really great question is what I just mentioned. So how do you control your feelings and your emotions after these type of dreams happen? I think the main thing would be to just really pay attention to what your dreams are telling you and what they're trying to tell you. Do your research and figure out like what exactly your dreams mean and compare it to what's actually going on in the physical life. That's going to tell you a lot about your dreams. And why you're feeling a certain way after you get up from these dreams. So I feel like that's kind of a good way to control it. Just meditate and try to think about like really good things before you go to bed so that you don't end up having bad dreams. It doesn't always work, but it's just something to kind of help you guys like tap into how you can kind of control your emotions and how you can kind of figure out what to do after you have these dreams. I don't know that I would recommend like telling people about what happens in your dreams. Like, you know, with me personally, like I never told anybody about my step grandfather. I never told anybody about that just because I didn't feel like that was something that, one, I was very young, so I didn't understand, but two, it's one of those things that people would probably look at you and be like, dude, you're crazy. So for me personally, I think it's kind of better to keep those things to yourself. But to just be very, very aware in the physical life and be very aware of what's going on around you and what's going on in your life, and what's going on in others' lives. And if you feel the need to check on somebody, if you have a dream about them, do it. So yeah. And oh, astral projection was the last thing that I wanted to get into. I don't know too much about lucid dreaming and astral projection. I just wanted to write down the definitions for you guys just so that way you guys have something to refer to, and how you can differentiate what dreams you're having and what these things mean. Okay, so astral projection, the ability of one spirit to travel to other realms. So a realm is basically like another subject of science, of the geographical world. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's just something you'll have to maybe go watch a few more YouTube videos on, about astral projection and lucid dreaming and how to practice lucid dreaming, and understanding what you're tapping into when it comes to astral projection and what other realms you're tapping into. So like for me personally, my mom passed away about 5 years coming up in April. So with that being said, I have a lot of dreams about my mom, and that doesn't happen to everybody. You know, a lot of my family that I talk to, they never have dreams about her, and they're like, how do you dream about her so much? How come you get to see her all the time? Like, blah, blah, blah. First of all, me and my mom were very, very close. We had a bond that was basically inseparable. Yeah, that was my best friend. That was my rock through everything. And so she comes and she visits me in my dreams. So when that happens, I know that I'm in like a different realm, if that makes sense. I know that certain things that happen in my dreams are her speaking to me. So it's very, it can be very calming and very, you know, I used to kind of get a little freaked out and a little scared, but now I just kind of take it with a grain of salt, and I'm like, hey, that's just her letting me know, you know, hey, get on your shit, or hey, do what you need to be doing, or, you know, whatever the message may be. But you really have to like pick apart through your dreams, and sometimes even write them down. Write down your dreams so that you can remember. And not only that, like, so that you have a backup in case you are having precognitive dreams. Write them down and put the date on it, so that way you have a way to kind of back up your dreams, and are able to kind of look at that and be like, whoa, okay, this happened in my dream and now it's happening in real life. Got it, okay. And write down the date of when it happens in real life. Because I feel like that would probably tell you a lot as well. And again, I don't study any of this. I don't know like the whole education behind this or the spirituality behind it. I don't know any of that. I'm just telling my own personal experiences, so that way other people can relate to me, and if there's anybody else I can help, I would love to. So yeah, you know, usually when my mom visits me in my dreams, it's a message from her, telling me something, or just visiting me and being like, hey, what's up? I'm here. I'm still in your life. Even though I'm not here in the physical world, Mama, I'm here in your dreams. So for me, I feel like that's kind of tapping into a physical realm. So, or into a different realm, excuse me, physical realm. So yeah, that's all I got for y'all. I just wanted to go over those things today, and there will be more YouTube videos coming out soon, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and throw some likes in there and throw some stuff in the comments, please, because I would love to know your guys's dreams, and I would love to answer any questions you guys have, or I would love to ask y'all questions and get answers from you guys. Because I know there's more educated people about this, but I just wanted to, like I said, come on here and kind of help some other people understand maybe why they may be having dreams that they can't really explain. So that's it. It's your girl Sky, and she's out. Period. Pooh.